guys, Dragon2020 here, and today we're to talk about speed of characters in Genshin Impact. There's going to be part 2 and 3. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Anyways, let's get right into the video. As I talked about in Power of Characters in Genshin Impact Part 3, the all-devouring narwhal is actually called the star-devouring narwhal in the Chinese language, and in some languages it's called the Stellivorious narwhal. That means it eats stars of all sizes, whether it be yellow giants or red giants. Regardless, consuming any star is a light speed feat, being able to open and close its jaws instantly on a star, and because of the type of whale that it is, it swallows its food whole. The same whale can traverse the universe in both the void realm and the human realm, making it massively faster than the speed of light and massively faster than the speed of light plus. Skirk is capable of doing the exact same thing. That would make her massively faster than the speed of light, massively faster than the speed of light plus, and the whale is Skirk's master's pet and regularly spars with it. So whatever number we give the whale, we have to scale Skirk higher than that. Now let's go to the Sustainer of the Heavenly Principles. The Sustainer of the Heavenly Principles was capable of beating both travelers. Regardless of which one is a descender or not, they both scale to each other in terms of speed and power. The Sustainer was capable of beating each twin with one hand. As we see the Sustainer, she literally was just blocking their attacks with one hand. That means in terms of power, she scales vastly above them, something I'm going to be getting into in the Power of Characters in Genshin Impact Part 3. So not only is the Sustainer massively faster than Speed of Light Plus, she is in the higher tiers of massively faster than Speed of Light Plus, seeing as she is able to casually dispatch both travelers. Seeing as this is the Sustainer, that means the people above her also scale vastly above the travelers as well. Now let's go all the way back to the Dvalin fight. Dvalin scales to the Animal Archon at full power. The Traveler, Jean, and Diluc fought alongside Venti to take down Dvalin. In order for them to fight Dvalin, they would all have to be massively faster than the speed of light plus, seeing as Dvalin is one of the strongest characters in the game, even now. To end off this section of the video, I'm just going to say this. Here are the other characters that are massively faster than the speed of light. Anyone who is capable of fighting and beating the Knave, anyone who is capable of fighting the Whale, Tartag, or Skirk, anyone that's capable of fighting Venti, anyone that's stronger than Venti, which should be Zhongli and the Ryan Shogun, and anyone with the title that says able to rival the power of the gods should also scale to this speed as well. This title is something that I'm going to be getting into in my next video, Power of Characters in Genshin Impact. Whether it be the next video I upload after this one or not, it's up in the air, but it's on the horizon. So stay tuned and be sure to look out for it. Alright, now back to the regular recording. Alright, so here's the name of the game for the Traveler. So he loses all of his power in the beginning, and he has to reclaim it over the course of the journey. So each region he gets stronger. Since there's 7 regions, and he has to get across all of them to get to full power, we can multiply that by 1/7 to get an idea on how much stronger he gets each region. Before I estimated he got 20% stronger, he actually gets 14% stronger. So I was actually off by 0.06%. This does not take into account elements that he acquires, which buffs him further. So technically he's getting stronger than what I just said, but I'd say this is a good low ball because it mathematically makes sense. Alright guys, so I decided to redo this whole section too. Right here you should be seeing a chart. Now I'm just going to go over the labeling. So over here you should see a gold block that says back at startup series full power or approaching startup series full power. That whole highlighted section is where Hydro Traveler is. So that's where I think startup series full power Traveler is, or is approaching. If that's not what it is, then I have this covered right here. It says future growth or startup series full power. All of that is in the green. And right here it says at this speed where you can fight the whale. That's going to be important later on when I go through each of these columns to determine which one is most likely. I would like to start this off with a disclaimer. This does not take into account elements, speed buffs that he acquires along the way, and techniques that he uses. For example, turning himself into an element and then rocketing himself in a particular direction. This only explains how fast the Traveler is using the statement where he travels across the stars like the all-devouring whale. So let's start with Hydro Traveler and go through the scaling. So Hydro Traveler fought the all-devouring whale. The all-devouring whale is capable of traveling the stars, going to planet, eating it. So that means Hydro Traveler has to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. If you look at the chart, column 1 and 2, they do not check, but 3, 4, and 5 do check. Because if you look at the numbers for Hydro Traveler in terms of speed, he is not at 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. In fact, in column 2, Cryo Traveler would be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. So columns 1 and 2 do not check. However, column 3, 4, and 5 do check. Because Hydro Traveler, bare minimum, is 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. The Wanderer wielded Dielektrognosis. A Gnosis scales to a Prime Archon. Dendro Traveler would have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. Column 1 and 2 again do not check, but 3, 4, and 5 do. Now let's go to Electro Traveler. Electro Traveler fought the Ran Shogun. The Ran Shogun should be above what is considered to be a Prime Archon, but I'm just going to lower her down to a Prime Archon for the sake of the argument. Electro Traveler, bare minimum, would have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light in order to fight her. If you look in column 3, it no longer checks because he's not 1,000 times faster than the speed of light, but column 4 and 5 do. Tartag is capable of sparring with Skirk, who the whale is fodder to. GL Traveler beat Leeway Tartag. So that means GL Traveler would have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light, or else he wouldn't be able to fight Tartag. Columns 4 and 5 check. And finally, if Nervalette scales to a Prime Archon, and Venti, at the time of the Dvalin fight, regardless of whether he was poisoned or not, scales to a Prime Archon, and Zhongli scales to a Prime Archon. Based off of his own assessment, that means the whale, Aishaha, and Dvalin have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. So that means everyone there who fought against Dvalin have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light in order to fight Dvalin, because Dvalin scales to a Prime Archon, regardless if Dvalin was poisoned or not. So that means Animal Traveler would have to be 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. So columns 4 and 5 check again. So based off of this scaling, we can get Animal Traveler at 1,000 times faster than the speed of light. Since Dendro Traveler beat the Wanderer when he had the Electrognosis, Dendro Traveler is around the speed of a Prime Archon. And since Hydro Traveler scales to Nervalette, Nervalette has to be 5,000 to 10,000 times faster than the speed of light. If the Ran Shogun with Engulfing Lightning is capable of beating Electro Traveler, that means full power Engulfing Lightning has to be well over 6,000 times faster than the speed of light. As I will later detail, she eclipses this speed by a considerably high margin once she unlocks the full power of the Musu Ishin. If Hydro Traveler and onward is considered start of series full power, then these are the numbers that the Traveler will have to eclipse in order to beat the Sustainer of the Heavenly Principles. Because if you remember in the cutscene, she beat both Travelers with one hand each. I really want to stress this. This chart does not take into account elements, and that's for a specific reason. Honestly, there is no official number that details how much faster or how much more powerful the Traveler gets upon acquiring elements. That 20% that I showed in my D-Luke vs Tartag video, my name video, that number is just something that I just guesstimated. Realistically, it could be that, it could be 14% more, or it could multiply his power by bare minimum 2. However, I am able to estimate how much faster or how much more powerful the Traveler gets with elements, and that is if I equate using elements around the same thing as using Adaptus Energy, which is what the Traveler is capable of doing. Adaptus Energy is on the level of the gods in Genshin Impact. If you look at the description of a delusion, it says that delusions are far more powerful than visions. That could be 10 times to 100 times more powerful. If we equate this to using elements, which it really shouldn't, because Adaptus Energy is just way more powerful than elements, but we're going to do it anyways for the sake of the argument. That means the bare minimum the Traveler can get 10 to 100 times faster and more powerful from using elements. If you take into account specific elements that buff specific qualities, that number could shoot up from 100 to even like 500 to 1,000. Far higher is not a number, it is a descriptive quality. So really I could apply any high number to that quality. So at bare minimum, we can say that the Traveler gets 10 to 100 times more powerful when he uses elements to buff speed, but if it's specifically animal or electro, it's far higher than even that, especially when he turns himself into an element, or with Adaptive's energy shapeshifts into a fish and flies around. So to give an idea on how this will look on the chart, you would have to increase the exponent of whatever you think the Traveler is by 1, 2, or 3, and that's just an equation that's scientific notation. You just have to put this equation into a calculator. With this, you get the new estimation for the Traveler when you consider elements. That is how high you can get the Traveler if you use elements. Now understand, this is an estimation based off of lore and me comparing two similar things together. It could be less than this, it could be far higher than this. So this is just an estimation. Don't take this number too seriously. If it ends up being true, then hey, I said it first. Out there, I made that mistake many times. Honestly, I could end the video right there, but I do want to get into some arguments that people might have against what I'm saying. So let's start off with this. The Wanderer said that this guy is fake, and in one cutscene, you can see Yoimiya and the Traveler riding across stars. Just because there are fake stars in the sky doesn't mean the entirety of the sky is fake. Judging off of how Celestia doesn't like things different from how they want them to be, they most likely made the sky however they wanted it. The Traveler and Nervalet pretty much disproved that the sky is entirely fake, meaning that there's nothing there, it's just all simulation. Creating the Salt Chalice isn't just a feat of infinite AP, it's also a feat of infinite speed. Seeing the creation of this infinite and bottomless pit was done in less than a lifetime, and arguably in a couple seconds. You could argue this is immeasurable speeds, however I feel like this is a stretch considering who we're talking about. I'll just leave that up to you. Realms aren't infinite in size, so creating a realm is a feat of infinite AP and speed, and considering time flows differently within these realms than in a normal human realm, this also counts as immeasurable speeds. As I talked about in the previous part, Skirk is capable of traversing the stars. If she is capable of outspeeding the expansion of the universe, that would count as infinite speeds. Mafuika is capable of breaking into the Night Kingdom from the human realm, breaking into a separate time space. This isn't just an impressive feat of AP, it's also a speed feat, seeing as her power is able to ignore the flow of time in both the human realm and the Night Kingdom, seeing as her power is able to flow from the human realm to the Night Kingdom unhindered. As I talked about in my previous video, Power-Up Characters in Genshin Impact Part 4, the elemental currents within the ley lines are comparable to the dark and light currents within the Abyss and Light realm respectively. Since both of those realms are infinite in size, that would give the ley lines infinite power. Considering that the ley lines are capable of controlling and manipulating time, manipulating the ley lines isn't just a feat of infinite AP and speed, it's also an immeasurable speed feat, seeing as their power is capable of manipulating something that's immeasurably fast. The Ren Shogun has access to the fastest speed feat in the game, being able to slash apart the entire realm of consciousness from outside of the realm of consciousness in a few seconds. Keep in mind that in just 20 to 30 minutes, 500 years pass within this realm of consciousness, granting the Ren Shogun immeasurable speeds. Keep in mind, A was fighting the Raiden Shogun in the Shadow Lord form while she was just using the Musou Ishin, so you would give this speed feat to Musou Ishin A, and then if A were to transform into the Shadow Lord form, she would also be able to perform this feat, albeit much faster. Now we have to ask the question, who exactly do these speeds apply to? That would be the Adaptive / Yokai characters and the God level characters, with the 4 Shades and the First Ascender being the fastest out of everyone. How far down does this go? Anyone that fought Dvalin, anyone that fought Asylum, anyone that fought Orobashi, Kazuha, anyone that's confirmed to have power on the level of the gods, anyone that's confirmed to be able to rival the Adaptus, and anyone who can fight these characters bound a much lower to the lowest end. That being faster than the speed of light, massively faster than the speed of light, and massively faster than the speed of light plus. And with that ends speed of characters in Genshin Impact Part 2 and 3. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe, and as always, have a wonderful day.